I'm back with Brian Tyree Henry. Brian, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure, man.
Brian's here for 2 for 1. Just had his first feature, Imitation of Life from 1959. Next film we have 10 years later, The Learning Tree, a movie that I, before you picked it, had seen one time. I obviously remembered that it's a story of this black teenager and his friends, his family growing up in 1920s Kansas. I didn't remember how violent it was.
Yeah.
I didn't remember how much trauma there was. I have a more quaint memory of it.
Well, it's also it's called The Learning Tree.
Right, yeah, right.
So you immediately think that you're getting into, and even the opening, this song that Gordon Parks wrote.
Yeah, so Gordon Parks, he produced it,
yeah,
he wrote it, he directed it,
yeah,
and he scored it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of being one of the greatest photojournalists and photographers ever, this is what he decided to do and create and build.
And he was 57 years old at the time. His career as a photographer, as one of the most important photographers of the 20th century, was already locked in. And this is a history-making moment. He became the first black director to direct a major studio film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every frame of this movie is a still shot, it feels like. And also it was interesting because all we know about Kansas is Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. And even the beginning of the movie starts with the tornado. But also, I always view it as a coming-of-age movie.
It's definitely coming.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember watching it because I was much older. I think I was in college at this point, Morehouse College. And I remember coming across this movie. I had always loved Gordon Parks' photography and work, but I didn't know that he was a director. At that time in my life, it was still formative years for me. You know, I think I was 19 or 20 when I saw this movie. And so I remember getting this movie and it was just like, what is this? Like, I had never even seen, it reminded me a lot, you know, because all the coming of age movies I saw were like Stand By Me and Rebel Without a Cause and things like that. But to see this story following this young black kid in 1920s Kansas, I was like, this is interesting to me.
Kyle Johnson plays Newt, and he is really good.
Yeah, he's really
good.
Are we gonna live here all our lives?
Don't you like it here, son?
You know, they got a group of 5 friends.
All those friends are great.
Very well cast.
Yeah.
The mom is great, Estelle Evans. She's the anchor of the family.
And that was what was really cool, too, because it was a nuclear family.
Yeah.
You know, they had a good home. When I was younger, I always knew if a family was good if they had 2-story houses. That's my thing. Yeah. I was like, if they got 2 stories, then you guys are living high on the hog. And so looking at this, I was like, they had a 2-story house in 1920s. They had land, you know? And I also love that the uniform of these boys was just a pair of overalls.
Right? They all wore
just overalls running through the streets, man. Because it still was an age of innocence, it felt, even though there was still that threat and looming danger of you are still young black boys out here.
Yeah. So the racism that we're exposed to is some that in a sense, if you've seen movies and if you know anything about American history, you expect. There's obviously some deep-seated violent racism in law enforcement, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then there's the daily racism of this moment where Newt, who's a super smart kid, wants to go to college, has ambition, and is just told by his teacher, you can't go to college, you're wasting your time. And that's straight out of Gordon Parks' life. Mm-hmm. And so even you get the little bits of racism and then the real menacing, dangerous parts of racism, and you realize how bad the cumulative effect of all this.
Absolutely, because even if you look at the movie The Learning Tree, right, where this age of innocence is very short. He can't really be a youth that long before society has already told him what he's denied and what threats are for him, because they still see him as a black man. He's still a threat.
And what his limited
path is, right? Yeah. And I just remember thinking, no matter how youthful Newt and his friends are, there are just threats that are going to be put on them that they won't have the luxury of being like, well, I'm young. You know, I'm trying to learn and develop this way. They're black men. And so I going to this all black male institution, you know, in the heart of the South, in Atlanta, Georgia, still, you know, it's in the South, the seed of where the civil rights movement took place. I was just realizing the juxtaposition of what Newt was going through and what I was going through at the same time in my development. And it was just it was just so interesting to me to know that the times have changed, but yet the stories are still the same, you know? And I think that, you know, it was something that absolutely attracted me to Newt and his friends and their circumstances. Because I thought about me and my friends in Atlanta. Like, we're all in college. You know, we are all Black men who have excelled at education, and we're going to college. But if we're out and about,
Wait, once you leave campus, which you must have done all the time. You go into Atlanta, you go to dinner, you go to a bar, you go out.
It's a whole nother thing.
And you're always aware of it, right?
Always aware.
Always aware.
Always aware to this day. And I'm in my 40s. I'm always aware of it. Yeah.
Brian, thanks very much. More to discuss after the film.
Absolutely.
Here it is, from 1969, written by Gordon Parks, produced by, Gordon Parks, directed by Gordon Parks.
Who's it scored by?
Let me see, I have his name here. Gordon Parks. There it is. Here are Kyle Johnson and Estelle Evans in The Learning Tree. Back with Brian Tyree Henry. Thanks for programming these two movies, Imitation of Life and Learning Tree, which we just saw. Movie definitely comes
another
full
ending.
circle.
Another ending, right?
Yeah. So there were 5 deaths in this film.
And 5 deaths are only the deaths you could see.
That's right. I mean, Marcus, who's killed there at the end, actor named Alex Clark, is a really difficult role.
Wonderful.
A role that you expect there to be, just because you watch a lot of movies, there's going to be redemption. But Gordon Parks was like, no, Marcus is angry.
Yeah.
And he has a reason to be angry, and he's not going to get over his anger.
It's so easy to look at a character like that and be like, I don't like him.
Right.
You know, I should be upset with him. And there's one scene in particular in this movie when they go to the fair, just innocently going to the fair.
Yeah, like the way teenage boys.
The way we do, the way I did when I was in junior high and high school, just going to the county fair to ride some rides, to get some candied apples, to do my thing, to hang out with friends. And they are pinned against each other in this fight.
Yep.
And they have to fight.
Yeah.
And you watch the whole crowd just come up and watch these Black boys like pummel each other.
Right, yeah.
And you see Newt, he's victorious in the fight, but nobody won this fight. And I just remember that feeling of that, and also trying to compare it to things that I've been in my life, you know, like, and what that looks like. And just to see this whole group of people celebrate watching these boys come together.
The sheriff, you know, I mean, look, we already know the sheriff's a terrible person.
Yeah.
But the way he cheers on that fight, he's like, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him. I mean, so this movie has way more intensity and way more tragedy and trauma. I keep using that word, but that's how I felt when I was watching it. So as a result, I thought it was good, but now I think it's great. Like, it's a great film.
Gordon Parks did an amazing job.
Yeah, and this is his first movie, one of the most influential photographers of the 20th century, and he made this great career for himself. But he took this very famous picture called American Gothic, Washington, D.C., a cleaning woman, a janitorial worker, like the American Gothic painting. She's just standing there, her face expressionless.
Weary, worn.
Weary is better, right? Weary and worn, and no pitchfork. She's holding a broom and a mop. It's a great photo.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant. And it's amazing, this capturing of 20th century life that he did in his photographs, but then to put into this film. Because I even think about like just the opening scene when you see this barn and these wheat fields. He does this amazing thing of just taking all these norms of what should be considered idealistic American experiences deep under the surface can be switched immediately because of race and because of where you are and because of your socioeconomic background. And it's wonderful how because I always just kind of laugh about how uplifting the theme song is. Like, it's just this beautiful orchestra, this song of just this young boy going through this wheat field, just leaving, spending his day. And how immediately, the minute that he makes the decision to leave home, all these choices of life and death happen to him. And that is real. Like, that's truly, I think, the lesson of the movie. Yeah.
Brian, great stuff. I can't thank you enough for coming in.
It's my pleasure, man. Anytime.
And for pairing these two movies together. Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Brian's done for the night, but the movies continue here on TCM. Unfortunately, though, the next movie will be presented by Eddie Muller. Noir Alley is next on TCM. I apologize.
Next on TCM, Crack Up, then Man in the Wilderness, and later, The Deadly Trackers. TCM is hot on your trail tonight.